I once heard that if everyone likes you, you're doing something wrong. On this episode, I'm going to say some things that are going to feel wrong. But I have a question for my fellow Americans. When did we give up our conscience for comfort? But before I get into all that, here's the intro. Greetings, my friend, and welcome to the Advocacy Life podcast and blog. If you're listening to this or watching this, you're obviously listening to the Advocacy Life podcast. The Advocacy Life podcast and blog is literally just that. It's one person's view of disability awareness and disability rights in both formats. So if you want to learn about disability, you want to study disability, you want to educate yourself on disability, you want to be educated on disability as a form of human existence, not as ableism, not as isolationism, but simply as a part of human existence, then this is a podcast for you. My name is Nuñez, and I hope to see you soon. America is in difficult times. We're in divided times. We know this. This is not a new thing. But I have a question. When did we give up our conscience for our comfort? As you know, I record stuff way in advance. And it's kind of a good thing because I talk about stuff what you see after the fact. But for me, it's a refresher of where the country's been. Because so oftentimes, in this fast-paced world, we forget about current events. I'm recording this a few days after a young lady was killed on a subway by an assailant with a knife. Slashed, basically clear across the throat, and stabbed about 5 or 6 times. And the assailant walked off like nothing. He just walked off like it was another stop. Was this person caught? Was this person in jail? Is he in custody? I don't know. I've seen the videos on Instagram. I've seen the videos on social media. But was this case followed up on? How come people on the train, if you look at the footage, because we've all seen the footage, 5 or 6 of them never got up? I know what you're going to say. Oh, Kevin, it's easy for you to say you can't get up. You're right, I can't. But I'd have my phone. I'd have 2 options. 1, call the cops right there. Or B, record the thing to at least give it to the cops later. That's something I could do. What if I got caught and got stabbed? Oh well, at least I did something. When did we? They just sat there. When is that okay? I was in 5th grade when we had the Columbine shooting. Arguably, if not the first, one of the first school shootings in America. When that incident happened, America stopped. We mourned for the victims. We wanted to do something. On the day of Charlie Kirk's murder, there was another school shooting. No one cared. No one followed up. What are the names of those victims? I don't remember them on the news. I'll get to Charlie Kirk in a second. This is not about Charlie Kirk right now. I'll get to him in a second. But when do we stop caring about people just dying? One of the things I love about disability is that it helps you be realistic. A realistic optimist, to be precise. I was in a school shooting drill. I remember that drill vividly because my participation in the drill was to go into the special ed girls' bathroom and hide there in the dark. I was not in special ed. I had to go to the special ed room and hide in there. So I was told in advance about this drill. Obviously, this is not a perfect scenario, but it worked for the moment. Would I have probably done if it was a realistic scenario? Yes. That's true. So what could I do to fix it? What could I do to help? As I grew up, I kept this image in my mind, this memory, and when I joined my advocacy groups, I helped the state of New Jersey create a white paper on how to support individuals with disabilities during active shooter scenarios. Is it a perfect white paper? No. Are the solutions in there perfect? Did a lot of them fall through? Maybe, maybe not. That's a whole other discussion. But at least I did something. Americans today, we don't want to do anything. We just want to sit by on our phones. I know you're listening to this podcast, but after this podcast, do something to help someone else. This past week was the anniversary of the 9/11 terrorist attacks. I remember vividly the day after 9/11, there were lines across the nation for people that wanted to give blood and donate blood and volunteer and give time. Where was that now? 24 years later, there's no lines. Oh, my president, my color didn't win. Guess what? In a two-party system, your color is not always going to win. It sucks for somebody. Someone's not going to be happy. That's true. But guess what? Don't whine and do something. If you don't like a president's policies, you can protest safely and accordingly peacefully. I did it. If you go on Google, I'll put some links in the show notes. But I took part in and spoke at a Save Medicaid rally outside in a big red sweater. I spoke for a good 10 minutes. I was out in the open. Anybody could have taken a shot at me. I'm not Charlie Kirk. I'm a very small-time content creator. I know this. But still, an American died this last week. Was I a Charlie Kirk fan? No. I think some of his rhetoric and policies were a bit extreme. That does not mean that I wished evil on the man. That does not mean that I wanted to celebrate his death. But that's okay now, because he didn't say things that I liked. Let me give you an example. Because Charlie Kirk at one point said something that was misunderstood by himself about disability people and blind. Once he was corrected with the correct information, he recanted his statement. Do I agree with him on other policies? No, I don't. But he recognized he was wrong. That's what disability awareness is. That's education. Sorry to say this, folks, to burst your bubble. But unless you're living with a disability or affected by it, you don't understand it. So I can't necessarily blame Charlie Kirk when there is about 1 billion people out there in the world who don't even understand disability culture at all. To me, I did a video correcting Charlie Kirk, if you look at my Instagram, going back a few months back, way before he was even, passed away. But he corrected his statement. He admitted he was wrong. He put God first. Again, do I agree with his policies? No. But just like with anybody else, no one is either 100% right or 100% wrong. If you think following every single person's word is the right thing to do, then you're wrong. Nobody should agree with 100% of a person's viewpoints or policies. If you do that, then you're basically following the blind, and that's wrong. Because not one single person on this earth is perfect. Sorry, you're not. Am I the biggest fan of the current administration? No. Am I a biggest fan of the past administration? No. And I was invited by the Biden-Harris administration, to the White House twice. And I'm still not the biggest fan of the Biden-Harris administration. I can name up 5 or 6 policies that they had that I personally don't agree with. Does that mean I'm anti-Biden? Does that mean I'm a Republican? No. I don't agree with Trump's policies. Does that mean I'm a Democrat? No. Life is about balance. Democracy is designed for compromise. America has forgotten how to compromise. It's all become my way or the highway. Zero sum, none gain. It's a very technical term. It basically means compromise. Americans don't want to compromise. We don't want, give me this, give me that, give me. Guess what? One of the few benefits of my disability is that I don't get everything I want. I'm always adapting, I'm always growing, I'm always changing plans. When I go out, I gotta plan everything out, and I guarantee when I go out, something somewhere breaks or doesn't go the way it's supposed to, and I have to adapt. If I sat and cried on my bed all day, every day, which I could very easily do because there's like 1,000 things I can't do, I would just waste away and die. Oh, I cannot get out of bed on my own. You're right, I can't. It's a fact of life. Am I walking after this podcast? No, not walking. I might go to a physical therapy center and take a few steps. It'll feel fantastic. But I know it's a momentary thing. What's more important? Walking a few steps or doing this podcast where hopefully somebody somewhere will take something from it. How many people walk around all day but don't go anywhere? They're moving all day, but they have no purpose behind their steps. But it's okay because they made a 5-minute TikTok. So, remember this, folks. People died. 9/11, girl on a subway, from Ukraine, escaping a war, by the way. Literally escaping a war to come here to a safe country to find a safe harbor and died on a subway. That could have been you, could have been me. I'm not Charlie Kirk, but there's a lot of parallels between what he did and what I do. Guess what? He had a podcast for years. This is my 3rd year doing a podcast. Okay, yes, he had a bigger following. Fine, God bless him. I'm not going to knock him for having a bigger following. No. The world is too negative enough as it is to beat someone up because they have a bigger following than I am. Charlie loved Christ, I love Christ. If that's the reason for you to unfollow me, then unfollow me now. My point is this. There are parallels in all of our lives. But we're so focused on our own little bubble that we do everything not to burst. that we don't live life anymore. Americans gave up our conscience for comfort, the comfort of our own little bubble that we all created. And it's not an age thing. It's not a millennial versus Gen Z thing. It's not a Democrat Republican thing. It's not a white versus black thing. We all have our own little bubbles. We have to pop our own little bubbles in order to live, in order to succeed, in order to grow. In order to grow with faith of any kind, you've got to pop your little bubble. And America needs to pop their little bubble. I hope you took something from this. Hope you took some notes. Hope you can at least pray for Charlie Kirk's children, who are less than 5 years old. All you little TikTokers out there making celebration videos because he's dead. First of all, I pray God has mercy on your soul, because that's evil and you know it. That's number one. And second of all, these kids are less than 5. They don't have political affiliations. They don't know Democrat. They don't know Republican. They don't know black. They don't know white. And they shouldn't. They're less than 5 years old. They know that daddy can't go home. Victims of 9/11. I know some of you now will learn about it in textbooks because you weren't alive. I get that. But still remember who they were. Think about their families. The fathers who didn't come home from work. So, my mother worked 10 blocks away from the Twin Towers when they fell. She walked the Holland Tunnel. Oh, it's been 24 years. Doesn't matter now, does it? Wake up, folks. Columbine. How many school shootings have we had since Columbine? I can't even count. You try to Google it, you can't count it. But gun control isn't the issue. Because at the end of the day, and this is where I'm going to lose followers. I know I'm going to lose followers. Guns are just one item. They don't do anything. The person behind the gun is the guy who needs to get punished. How do we live in a country where we see someone get stabbed to death in front of our eyes and nobody gets off the train to try to stop this guy? How is that okay? Pop your bubble, America. Wow, you guys, I really had a fun time doing the episode together. Did you have fun listening? Did you have fun watching? Did you learn something? If you want to support the Advocacy Life podcast of laws, give me a few seconds and let me tell you how to do it. I have an exclusive newsletter for paid subscribers where you get all sorts of goodies, personal anecdotes, more updates on policy, more recommendations on books and movies I like. If you want to do more of me, I have written not one, but 2 books in a book series called Living Beyond Disability. They're on Amazon. Also in the show notes below. If you want to do more than that, you can support me directly through Cash App and PayPal. All in the links down below. Thank you so much for your time. Hope to see you in the next episode. God bless. See you